Hi guys, it's Rebecca. Just wanted to make a quick video for you. A lot of my peeps that are taking the Best Body Now program and challenge to help energize them and to maybe lose some weight and to feel good about themselves are having some struggles with the eating portion. And I just want to take a little bit of time and kind of ease your worries about it. You are not alone at all. And I just want to give you a history of how Americans got into the standard American diet that we all have now, or that we hope that we might have now, but hopefully we won't at the end of this challenge, right? Um, so the standard American diet, full of fast, high fat, high sugar, highly processed food. That is the norm these days. And it's the norm because the producers and the manufacturers and the advertisers and the government has wanted us to have that. So I just want to kind of do a little bit of a quick history of how things have happened in America. Okay, so back in the early 1900s, trans fat was created, which gave us such wonderful things like Crisco. And I don't know if trans fat was in Oreo cookies at that time, but Oreo cookies were started back then around the 1910s. And Aunt Jemima syrup, and just some things that were just starting to kind of come out with that addition of trans fat to allow more yummy foods, right, for everybody. Then in the 20s, World War I, the soldiers going off to war, a lot more ready to eat or ready to make foods. Back home, we were getting freezers and refrigerators and gas stoves, and that created a little bit more of some introduction of the frozen food and the canned food, and they really marketed to the housewives of that day of how convenient it all was, and how how your life would be so much easier if you had these canned foods and if you had this frozen food. And that's the era that Wonder Bread came out during that time. Van de Kamp's pork and beans, Kool-Aid, oh, and Velveeta cheese. So, all right, so let's think about that. All right, so that's the perfect American dinner. A piece of Wonder Bread, slap some Velveeta cheese on it, have some pork and beans, and chase it all down with your Kool-Aid. I don't think that there's a lot of nutrients in any of those items or that meal at all. So in the 30s and the 40s, you've got the Depression, you've got World War II. It's all about saving money. It's all about cheap, cheap, cheap. The government subsidizes corn and soy. And when they do that, it creates kind of a want for that cheap corn and that cheap soy as additives for food manufacturers. So we get into the hydrogenated oils, the modified corn starches, the high fructose corn syrups. Hello, yes, because it was cheap, and the manufacturers could put those ingredients in the food to bulk it up, to create more calories, to make it more filling. But it doesn't have a whole lot of nutrients. So it's not doing very good for us. And also during that time, a lot of chemical information coming back from the military with the bombing and all that kind of stuff. So lots of chemical research on how we can enhance our food and how we can make it taste better. McDonald's comes out and starts franchising its restaurants. Dairy Queen comes out. And then that kind of brings us into the 50s, where fast food places are pretty prevalent. We get a lot of mass distribution with the food because the highway systems are better. The big trucks are on the road now. TV comes into play. Microwaves come into play. So again, we're changing. Our whole history is changing a bit. but maybe not for the better. So now we have that mass distribution of TV frozen dinners that we can all sit in front of the TV and eat on our TV trays. Do you remember the TV trays? We had them, of course. Sweet and Low was developed then. Just what a great it's kind of like, the 50s to me were very almost like innocent times. And then now as I say Sweet and Low and TV dinners, I almost feel like, oh no, what's coming? So the 60s brought us irrigation of vegetables and fruits. It brought us aluminum cans, which of course with aluminum cans, then now we get even more of the sodas and all that kind of stuff. The 70s brings us my favorite, Hamburger Helper. We had that quite a bit growing up. Happy Meals for the kids, because the kids need the McDonald's Happy Meals. But what's weird about it is that Americans are starting to get a little fat. And they're starting to get obese and fat and just really not doing well. So the manufacturers and the advertisers know exactly what to give us. They give us light beer. Miller Lite came out in the 70s because people were getting obese and needed a light beer. So just keep that in the back of your mind as we go through these centuries here. So, or not centuries, decades. So the 80s, we get aspartame, we get Diet Coke. That's when I started my Diet Coke habit, was back then when I was a teenager, leaving for college, that type of thing. We get lean cuisines, which again, kind of following that light beer, lean cuisines with all these women, Diet Coke. Crystal Light, we've got microwave popcorn. Ooh, and if you even notice microwave popcorn, that's not even real. It's not real. It's not even good. But anyway, I so remember all of that. I ate all of that. I had lean cuisines all the time. It just was what we ate. We were told to eat it. It was good for us. It was diet food. Everybody was on a diet. 90s brought in a great thing. They brought in the label system, and I'll kind of talk to you a little bit about the labels, but in your program you have information about the labels as well. Lots of good information in there. I don't think that there's enough information in there for us though. And then the 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s brought us the fat-free fad. So we thought we were getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we thought that because we were fat, well, it must be the fat that's making us fat. So instead of maybe eating less and maybe eating a little bit of real food, we all went on low-fat diets. And do you remember the cookies? Do you remember the low-fat cookies? Low-fat chips, low-fat crackers, low-fat, low-fat, low-fat. Everything was low-fat. We thought that that's what we needed. But instead of the fat in the cookie, they added more sugar. They added more of the artificial flavors, more of the artificial preservatives, more of the filler that wasn't fat, that cornstarch, the corn syrups, the soy products. Still nutrients, no nutrients. Then we go into that low carb South Beach thing where people were like, I can't have carbs. That means I can never eat a banana. I could never eat sweet potato. I can never eat anything that has carbs, no carbs, which is a little off, a little overboard. But I can kind of see where that's coming. And all this time, the manufacturers are sitting back, dreaming and testing and coming up with wonderful ways that keeps us wanting that food. So those lean cuisine scientists are like, I know Rebecca is out there, and I know that she wants a little bit more gravy with this turkey dinner. So we're going to have to add a little bit of some other kind of processed food in the mashed potatoes to justify the gravy having those calories. So we can keep this under 250 calories. So they're coming up with this, and then the advertisers are like, Rebecca, don't you want to be thin, and aren't you a busy woman? Just throw this in the microwave, and oh, it's wonderful, and it's the best thing for you. It's wonderful. Anyway, I think you get the idea. I'm assuming that you were there with me. What I don't want you to get from this is a feeling of guilt, which I do sometimes get, very feeling of guilt that why do I like this stuff so much? Why did I eat that? Why am I still eating some of this? I feel like it's not our fault. I feel like we were lied to, we were pushed into something, but now we know, and we know that the food that we were eating and might still be continuing to eat is not good for us. And it's not serving our bodies well at all. We need to maybe now understand that we were led down a path and we can get off that path. We can change things up. No wonder our taste buds don't like greens. We've been programmed not to like greens. So let's see what we can do to kind of get that back again. And I don't mean to preach or have this be any kind of like holier than thou, because I so am not holier than thou. But I can so give you the information that maybe you don't have. And we want to talk to you about labels too. And I did find some things in the cabinet. I kind of just went through the cabinet. I thought that I cleaned my pantry out pretty good, but I guess I didn't. So anyway, so I am finding, I found this, breadcrumbs. Okay, can you see it? Okay, breadcrumbs. And I'm really embarrassed to admit this, but I have to say that I brought this with me through 2 moves. I don't know why, but I'm sure that it's horrible. But imagine the preservatives that are in this to keep this, I don't know, there for probably 9 years. I moved this from Brecksville to Pittsburgh and then Pittsburgh to here. It's really embarrassing knowing that I have something that old in my pantry. So don't judge, just understand that it was there. But anyway, I wanted to show you that for breadcrumbs, which I think of bread and I think, okay, flour, water, sugar, or not sugar, yeast, and salt, right? Pretty basic. No. So on here, we have so many ingredients. Can you see how many ingredients there are on here? Crazy amount of ingredients. And I can't even tell you, like calcium sulfate. Why would I want that? Oh, can't even, it's so tiny that I can't even read it. Let me see if I can find my glasses and maybe I can get that. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. Oh, molasses, honey, yeast, sugar, wheat gluten, whey, soy flour, whole wheat flour, rye flour, corn flour. That was after all of the fructose and the corn syrup and the partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, cottonseed and or corn and or canola oil. Maybe not real food. Could be. All right, so I'm going to throw that out. I think it's past its time. All right, another thing that my girls love. Okay, my girls love to eat this with vegetables, and when I was making sure that they were having their vegetables, I would let them dip it in the ranch dressing. It tastes good. They ate their vegetables. Now, as I look through this this label, I'm thinking I'm throwing this out too because, again, I don't think it's food. Okay, first ingredient, water. Second, soybean oil. My girls, they're girls. I don't know if they need any more estrogen soy. I don't think I need any more estrogen soy. Third on this list is sugar. And then we've got modified food starch. And then we've got salt. And then somehow in here we've got, it kind of goes, soy again, phosphoric acid, xanthan gum, artificial flavor, disodium phosphate, sorbic acid, and calcium disodium EDTA as preservatives. Not real food. It's not real food. This one killed me. When my daughter came home for break, we went to the store together and she wanted this so badly. And she ate some of it, she ate a fair amount of the packages. So you would think that this is a bowl. This is one bowl. Okay, it's really not, it's a little big, but you know, but you would think that if it's just one bowl, then it's just one serving for the product. It's not. It's a serving as a half of a bowl, so you would actually have to put it into another bowl to eat it. You couldn't eat it from this bowl because it's only, or you would eat it from the bowl and you would eat all of it because it's in one bowl. Anyway, what freaked me out about this one is, again, here is the list of ingredients. It starts here and goes all the way down here. You know, I don't even tapioca starch, wheat gluten, soy sauce. I mean, so dried vegetable flakes. Oh, there's some vegetable flakes in there. All right, what really killed me though was the amount of sodium in this. The amount of sodium is 1,250 milligrams in one serving. That's half of the bowl. 1,250 milligrams. For an average person, that says that that's 52% of their daily allowance for sodium. My daughter is 120 pounds. I don't even know if she qualifies as that 2,000, you know, that 2,000 calorie percentage, or that 2,000 calorie mark that you're supposed to do with that. So this is 104% of your daily amount of sodium in one, what looks like one serving, which is really 2 servings of this. I didn't realize. And it also is going in the trash. So I'm hoping that this kind of gives you a little bit of some information. I'm not wanting to be preachy at all. We're all in the same boat. I just want the best for you. And I want your eyes to open up that we don't have to have this stuff. I can make an amazing soup. That maybe I'm not a fan of noodles in my soup. I don't really think noodles are great, but I can make an amazing chicken soup. I can make an amazing vegetable soup. You've got recipes for an amazing vegetable bean soup in your program. I've also got an amazing carrot leek ginger soup there. I made a wonderful lentil soup and bean soup this week. She doesn't need this. No. We don't need this. And we don't need this. They're going in the trash. And I invite you to look through your pantry, find anything that does not serve your body, that does not serve you. Maybe have a couple more vegetables today. All right? Have a great day. Thank you so much for listening. And I believe in you.